Yo, yo, yo. Your ruling planet hanging out in Aries where it's exalted has done a number on you. I feel like y'all done fucked around and found out some stuff about yourself that had been kind of hidden in plain sight for a while. I feel like there is something about all this deep self realization that's come through that has properly prepared you for the stabilization that is Taurus season. Like, it's like, okay, now I know A, B, and C, so I can go through the rest of the alphabet. There's just this, like, I think something clicked into place. You fucking get it now. And now that you get it and you see yourself in that exalted light, you like, okay, I know what I'm capable of. Now we can go. All right, get your stuff. We got stuff to talk about. What it do is back at it again with the general tarot reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2025. Baby, hydrate, light it if you need it. I hope you got your essentials and you're feeling comfortable and ready to take in more information. So let's go ahead and create a safe space for my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth, thanking you for all that you've done, all you're going to do, welcoming in the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2025. Weird. I just got a whiff of weed and I have not smoked and I'm not even sure how long. Where did that come? Y'all smoking them tweeds? Is that what's going on? Y'all out here smoking them tweeds, eh? Okay. Maybe some of you are needing some kind of a calming agent, or you've realized that you need a calming agent. Some of you have maybe started a prescription, a mood stabilizer, or you found substances that are able to help slow you down properly. Just make sure they don't become vices. Like, know the difference between, a substance that is healthily going to stabilize you and something that you could very easily get addicted to. And a lot of people are like, oh, you can't get addicted to weed. Yes, the fuck you can. Yes, the fuck you can. Don't be out here playing yourself. That is a thing. That is a very, you can get addicted to going to the gym. You can get addicted to video games. You can get addicted to all kinds of stuff. So quit playing yourself saying that you can't get addicted to something that creates this habitual activity. Anyway, so, or maybe y'all just need to have a good smoke sesh and let it be that. Whatever that is, you know yourself, you know your limits. See to that. Take care of that. Maybe you just need to slow the fuck down, calm the fuck down. But I feel like that's what's naturally happening. I feel like the sun in homebody, slow and steady Taurus energy is really going to show you what it is that you value. What you value about yourself, what you value about your life, what you value about your partners, your friends, your family. And there's, and that new awareness of the hierarchy of your values, I feel like is going to alter your behavior. It's going to alter your decision making skills. It's going to put you in a position where I feel like you just do different shit. You operate at a different level, and good. You're waking up. Like I just feel like you're about to figure out what you truly worth. It's like you know who you are now, even more than you did before. And now it's like, what do I want to have in my life? What do I need to acquire? What are the things that I value? What are my ambitions? And are my actions aligned with my ambitions? All right. So for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2025. What I will say also about the weed thing is that A lot of people don't understand like fire signs, especially fire suns and fire moons. I feel like your brain, your thought process happens at like a faster rate. Fire and air, like our thought processes, our brains often move quicker than our mouths can. And I remember like that's it had a lot to do with why I started smoking weed consistently, is because there was a point in time where I was just like, this can't keep up with each other. And so there were some times that I just needed an external agent to actively slow my mind down so I could like really get shit done. I also have Neptune and Mars conjunct, so if you know, you know. So that tends to mean I like doing things while in altered states. Uh, but I've grown and I've evolved and we're moving past it. Ooh, okay. Cards coming out. All right. First thing to be clarified on the Selenite throne, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I feel like where I once was blind, now I can see. There's some sort of awareness of like, now you know where you've been willfully blind. Now you know where you've had your defenses up too high, where you've leaned too much on logic, where you've put so much of your creative gifts behind you. Your creativity, your emotions, your spirituality somehow got put on the back burner. And I feel like you've been in this place of hyper analyzing everything. Just somewhere along the last year, I feel like you learned to like disregard your emotions and you're just trying to like la 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 your way into a certain way of feeling or being or into a certain level of success. But your emotions, your creativity, your spirituality, all this water that's in the back burner, that's where a lot of your superpowers lie. And so there's something about being willing to see everything as it is, being willing to read the writing that's on the wall, being willing to hear the trumpet of truth that's sounding in your life. I just saw the judgment card where it's like that angel with the big trumpet. Are you willing to take heed on the calling on your life? Are you willing to hear the call? Are you willing to take the call? Are you willing to rise to the occasion? And you can't do that if you are using words and your mind and technology and like video games or reading, or like if you're doing all these activities to like block out what your spirit is trying to tell you. I feel like for some of you, and it's like, oh, reading is good. Yeah, but if you all you're doing is reading and not working and not being progressive or not actually learning things, is it that great of an activity? Like if, is video, yeah, video games are great, but like if is that all you're doing? Are you numbing? Are you using technology or certain thought processes to numb in a way? With this being the first card out in Taurus season, this just lets me know it's time to be willing to see. There may be somebody in your life with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements that you're having a hard time seeing the truth of the situation, especially if they have Cancer or Gemini placements. Cancer, Gemini, or Libra, I'll say you may be really having a hard time like allowing yourself to see the truth. And it's time to make decisions from a place within you where you merge your logic and your intuition. That like crossroads of the masculine and that intersection of the masculine and feminine energy within you, that's where you need to be making decisions from. And so there's something about putting your defenses down, putting those swords down, because you can't see what's coming towards you. You can't see what's happening. Put the swords down, take the blindfold off, and be willing to see. And be willing to see, okay, there's some shit that I feel like you've been kind of delaying or putting off. This definitely may involve somebody with Scorpio placements, or someone with Scorpio placements really stirred something up in your life, in your relationship, in your spirit. There is something here about issues around receptivity. So it was the Two of Swords, the Six of Cups, and then the Death card, Death reverse came out. And so I feel like some of you are not being honest about what it is that you need to receive, not being honest with yourself about issues that you have receiving love or receiving what you need from other people. It also could be, are you over giving? Are you oversharing? Are you doing this like reciprocal niceness thing where you're just like, you are super nice and you hope that that means the other person's going to be super nice and giving to you? There's just something there around like uh, an unwillingness to see that some of your childhood traumas are coming into play, some of the childhood experiences that you've had. It's like, I just heard someone, but I've been working on that. Yeah, you've done the work, but the work will always continue. We will constantly be peeling back the layers and undoing the knots that were tied in our childhood. Hydrate. And I feel like in Taurus season, there's some kind of awareness around what you're supposed to have versus what you allow yourself to have. And like this idea of what you're supposed to have, that's an illusion. But like, what are you allowing yourself to experience? What are you making room for? I feel like there could be some issues looking at the past. Some of you may be really struggling with nostalgia, and I'm a firm believer that nostalgia, being stuck in nostalgia, is a form of depression. And so there's something there around like, are you struggling with depression? Are you struggling to not only just let yourself receive, but what's going on with your current level of generosity? Something is off with that. And with the death card at the center of the death reverse at the center of the reading, it's like something has taken place, something has gone on longer than it's supposed to. Like you are delaying an ending. Like something needs to be over. You're in some kind of situation that your ass shouldn't be in anymore, but you perpetuate or you stay or you just like keep going with the flow when you know that the flow was done a while ago. This definitely could involve somebody with Scorpio placements or may have been like triggered or activated by someone with Scorpio placements. Some of you may be struggling to get over a loss or get over a death or still be struggling with grief, remorse possibly. But the thing is that something needs to change and you've been avoiding what needs to change. And I feel like Aries season really made it like clear to you what needs to change so that in Taurus season, you can start putting the work in. Left foot, right foot, one foot at a time. And it will require, bottom of the deck, it will require an emotional outpouring. It will require an evaluation of the last 9-10 months. Something really shifted in the last 9-10 months. And something I feel like is really, really over. Something is like really, really dead. And something needs to be laid to rest. And that could be a behavior. It could be a job. It could be a relationship. It could be a certain aspect of your relationship with this Scorpio person. It could have been also someone that doesn't have to be a Scorpio, but for some of you it is. And I just feel like there was somebody that came into your life and was an agent of transformation. Or I don't think that it was like they were here for a good time, not a long time. Someone that was around for maybe 6 months to a year that like poked at something in you, activated something in you, triggered something in you, hit a pain point in some sort of way. And it is been trying to, and it's like the divine put that person in your path to poke at that thing. So you will be willing to take the blindfold off and be willing to see. And so it's just like, if you keep ignoring the writing that's on the wall, the divine is like, all right, well, we got to take it to the next level to get their attention. And so I feel like whatever it is that needs to end, whatever ways you need to transform, whatever habits or hobbies or relationships or connections that you need to like dead, get on with the get on, baby. Because you keep thinking that there's unfinished business. And I'm like, the business is finished. And I feel like also not everybody that you lose is a loss. And not everybody that walks away from your life actively chose that. I feel like a lot of times we don't realize that the divine has removed somebody from our path intentionally. And you're like running around trying to chase them, trying to get them to come back or try to figure out why they left versus understanding that they were removed. There is some inexorable force, some force that is greater than you that I feel like you've been grappling with. And it's like when it comes to like you versus death or you versus the divine, bruh, you're not going to win that fight. So trying to fight it or trying to chase something that is being removed is low key a mismanagement of our energy, you know? And I feel like the divine wants you to restabilize, wants you in this place of like feeling very worthy, feeling very secure within yourself. I mean, Leo, you are the sign of the heart. You are a sign of courage and bravery and self expression. And it feels really, really important for you to figure out what this new level of authenticity looks like in your life and how to embody that and display that. Final two cards, final two messages, please, for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Taurus season 2025. Be sure to go check out that Taurus season astrology video that has all the important astrological dates. And also join my ethical cult. Over there on Patreon, me and the Spartan Spirit Squadron, we're going to clarify all these cards. There's all kinds of astrological content. There's a tier for daily readings as well. So be sure to check that out. Final two cards, final two messages, please, for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The Six of Wands reversed. Okay. Interesting. Two white horses. Both reversed, going in different directions. I feel like when you finally let that thing go that you know you need to let go of, whenever you finally stop fighting like, when you stop fighting the rerouting, keep in mind now you have Mars in your sign. And Mars is a planet of drive, motivation, ambition, the way you take up space, how you express your physical, spiritual, and sexual energy. Now that you have Mars in your sign, Mars isn't going to let you just fuck around and just like keep twiddling your thumbs and looping. Mars is like, no, we have to get to point B in 2 years. Don't be a groupie, keep it motherfucking moving. And so don't be surprised if life is going in a very different direction. Because when you let this thing go, I feel like all of a sudden the divine's like, skirt, we're going in a different direction. Okay. This also could be the result of that solar eclipse in Aries. You're ruled by the sun, and the sun is already exalted in Aries, but then there being a solar eclipse there, this is an altering of who you are fundamentally. And I feel like you let stuff go, God is going to generate a new harmony in your life, going to, like, the divine puts you in this position where you start making very heart, it's easier to make heart-based decisions because you've let this thing go and are making room in your heart, making room for more energy to come in, and then bam, a whole new level of audacity just rises up in you. And it's like this rerouting, the letting go of the thing. It initiated an ending of a cycle of some shitty, outdated self-worth. It's almost like the old level, or the current level, even for some of you, the current level of self-worth is being shed like a skin. And that fresh new skin that comes in is somebody that feels very fucking worthy, someone that is audacious, someone that is luxuriates themselves, someone that values themselves. You are becoming someone that deeply, deeply values yourself and time. I feel like more money is coming in because of this new level of self-worth. There's more money, there's more independence, and all you got to do is get out of your comfort zone. All you've had to do is turn your back on that last 9, 10 months. Whatever has happened, whatever aha moments, whatever, uncomfortable realizations that you've had, all you've had to do is actually acknowledge that and pivot. And because you are willing to pivot, because you are willing to change trajectories, because you are willing to, pursue your dreams or take the road less traveled, because of your willingness to like put the fucking work in and pursue your heart's desires, you get a new life. And you get a certain level of stability, comfortability, financial security that you've been like, oh, now we have all this. This is just the start, baby. You let go of that. You let yourself shed that skin, that old skin of who you once were. You step into fully, fully trusting yourself and the God of your understanding. You step into fully trusting source and your spirit. You letting your spirit back in the driver's seat, baby. And the divine is like, oh shit, they ready. This is not a drill. They didn't let that bitch go. What? Okay, line up the blessings, line up this thing, line up the rewards. We can finally release this stuff. We can finally give them stuff because they're ready and because there's room. All this stuff, it was like there wasn't room before. Yeah, even in the bottom beneath of the deck, there was like so much confusion, so much emotional confusion, especially about how somebody else feels about you, or especially there could have been lots of like, there's so much I want to do and I don't know where to start. Some of you really been struggling with depression, really struggling with anxiety, really struggling with like feeling paranoid or not feeling safe, not feeling safe in a relationship, not feeling safe within yourself. And I feel like the response is like, what's the root of this? You take the time to get to the root, and I feel like you will figure out who planted that seed and why that seed has been germinating there, And so there was all this confusion and self-doubt, and it may have been caused by somebody with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements. It may have been caused by an air sign, but either way, I just feel like you're now ready to pursue your dreams, and the divine is ready to answer the call. You just had to be willing to see. So if you're dealing with somebody with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements, I feel like they are more guarded than you would like. They are a bit more closed off than you would like. They are not as spiritual as you would like, or they are not as emotionally available or connected as you would like. And you've got to honor that. Do not go into, I'll love them back to life, I'll fix them or whatever. Get out of that fantasy. That's bullshit. If you're dealing with somebody with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements, I do feel like if you've been with this person for a while and there's a solid emotional foundation, there is a new level of mutuality and reciprocity that wants to come in after possibly a period of pain. I feel like there is possibilities for rejuvenation there, but you've got to stop. If for that rejuvenation to come in with that person, you've got to stop the activities that you need to stop, or you've got to like do the thing that you need to do. And I do feel like it's on you, not on them. Some of you have been fighting the fact that you need to move, fighting the fact that you need to move on, fighting the fact that you need to go in a different direction career-wise, or that you need to do, or fighting the fact that like the divine is very clearly like taking you somewhere and you're like kicking and screaming. And then whenever you get there, God's like, you're welcome, bitch. Probably doesn't say bitch, but try to tell you were kicking and screaming the whole time. I was just trying to get you out here to get to a place of comfortability. And I feel like once you finally let go of control, finally let go of the reins, and it's not even let go of control, it's like reevaluating your concept or breaking through the illusion of control. Squadron already knows all we can control is what we voluntarily put into our body, whether we react or respond, and what we do about our intentions. Everything else is outside of your jurisdiction. So you lean into developing your faith. You lean into releasing fear. You get willing to see everything for as it is and start leaning into faith. And that's going to require you to figure out what the fuck you believe in. And that's your personal journey. That's your business. But you start to plug into that greater or that higher force or that greater self or that higher self or whatever it is that you like to, whatever name you like to give them. You start connecting more deeply with those forces that are greater than you. You stop trying to do the divine's job. You allow yourself to be cosmically rerouted. All you do is focus on operating from a true, pure place from your heart. And it'll lead you to a new kind of stability that you didn't think you were capable of having. I am excited to clarify these cards over on Patreon. I hope to see you there. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. All the links are in the description box below. Come on, let's get into it. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.